So we haven't talked about Doncaster in in a moment. Sounds a bit weird, but there you go. That's why I've decided to do the opening. So yeah, we haven't talked about Doncaster in a while, mostly because really, other than the fact that you've had a couple, as we've seen in other places, basically quit, realizing, oh, actually, I was told if I did get in as a councillor, you wouldn't have to do anything, is get a complete lie. Some of these people were just pure paper candidates, not even thinking that they would stand a chance, but again, they've got in. Up and leaving. We've had one candidate in particular posting quite weird conspiracy theories. We last time, I believe we covered them. They were complaining about the fact that they weren't in charge because of, again, how Doncaster City Council is set up. It's set up by a mayoral system, so the mayor isn't just a figurehead. They are actually in charge. They actually have power in there, so they are the one in sort of charge in sort of Doncaster. And of course, as you may remember, Labour won that election. So they've been going around as trying as hard as they possibly can to get that system changed. Basically, because if they know they can change the system, they will be in charge, and it will be another reform control council that they can add to their number. Recently, they even put out a post complaining about the fact that people thought that they were the ones in charge in Doncaster. And I'll tell you this now, some of them over the past couple of months have been very, very happy to take credit for some of the things that have been going on in Doncaster. But the second it's bad news or anything like that, oh, well, it's that Labour mayor's fault. Again, taking credit for anything good, but anything bad, that's not our fault. Anyway, there is, of course, an upcoming by-election happening in Bentley. And I think this is one of the areas where candidates, I think, should be hitting back. That if you are having a by-election because one of these reform people quit, if I was running in that race, my initial response to it would be, why even bother voting for reform? The last guy quit in 3 months. How do you know this guy isn't also going to quit in 3 months or 4 months? So there's a lot of stuff you can run on. You can run on that. But this one, I think, is also kind of an interesting way to sort of run against them. So we're going to have a looking at what the Labour Party candidate is running on in this, demanding that Reform UK pay back the election costs. So again, interesting way to do it, interesting strategy. Be interesting to see what you guys think about it in this way. But I do think it's a good way to sort of attack them, especially on this. And let me know what you think. So down below, of course, there are links to my Patreon page, the One Updation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee, the YouTube thank you button, the Patreon page, the YouTube membership, all that good stuff down below. So as always, thank you very much to all the people who do help and support the channel, and on with this. So over we go to the Doncaster Free Press, with the Labour Party candidate in Bentley by-election demands Reform UK pay back election costs. So Matt Jones, the Labour Party candidate now for the upcoming by-election, is now demanding Reform UK return the money to the City of Doncaster Council. A by-election has now been triggered due to the previous councillor, Samuel Booth, standing down just after 2 months in post. Like I say, he's not the only one. A lot of them have done runners, realising when they had a lot of work to do. The Labour Party candidate is now also seeking answers from Reform UK about any basic allowance taken now by the former Bentley ward councillor. Councillors receive allowances to, of course, cover expenses and the time spent on their duties due to the dates that he was in the post. It is believed that the previous Reform UK councillor would be entitled to at least 3 months of pay. Matt Jones, of course, started an online petition. Again, good way to do it, calling on Reform UK to return this money. He has stated that the petition, as he believes that this is now public money and could have been far better spent on projects for the area. But instead, now this has been spent because the previous councillor seemingly did not want to take up the role. Pretty much on that. Matt wanted to say 3 months, of course, of allowance is more than £3,500. And of course, on top of the approximate 25k just for this by-election, Reform UK are now costing the people of Doncaster more than just wasted time. So if you think about that, that is like what? 28k? That's all a lot of money. A lot of money. And bear in mind, councils do have like money set aside for like by-elections. But as I've said, by-elections are not cheap. You are looking at the range, as is pointed out there, round about 25k, which is a lot. And a lot of these people that have left Reform, that now eats in because they only really prepare maybe for like one or two. After all, it is very likely one or two may drop out, but not like instantly in this case, when they've also just had to spend a lot of money on the election itself. Now they have to spend an extra 25k on a guy who up sticks and left almost immediately. It's I think a campaign, if this has happened in your area, writing to your reform-led councillor or the reform leader of the council to actually return that money would actually, I think, be an interesting way of tactic to respond to all this stuff. So he goes on to say, how is it, of course, fair for the people of Bentley? He did not, of course, attend a single council meeting, and I am not even aware that he held any surgeries for residents. I believe that if he has taken a basic allowance and not done a single thing to help the people of Bentley, either he or Reform should pay back this money. The Labour Party has said that if the previous councillor, of course, took an allowance, the people of Bentley and Doncaster have a right to be disappointed, particularly, of course, given that one of you Reform UK key policies is, of course, their DOGE money saving in councils. I wouldn't have gone for the DOGE angle. I would have gone, you ran on the basis that you are better than us, that any other councillor is like awful, terrible. They waste money all the time. It's in their manifesto literature constantly. That's what I would have gone after. But if you want to go on the DOGE angle, fair enough. Anyway, they continued. Reform UK, of course, very much proving that on a local level, instead of introducing this so-called DOGE money saving system, they are now proving to be a dodgy waste of taxpayer money whilst ignoring those who are elected now to support. If you, of course, you want councillors, of course, focused on the community and not on their own political games, Reform UK are clearly not the right choice. They reached out to Reform to comment, and of course, no comment. I don't think there's any comments down here. No. Thought that fits. Unless it's at the top. Unless it's I haven't missed it. Yeah. No, but yeah, there you go. I think an interesting way and tactic to do that. I think that is very good to point out that they've wasted all that money and how much that by-election, of course, is now going to cost after you've had a candidate who's, well, didn't even do his job. So why should you even bother voting for Reform this time in this by-election? Is this guy going to up sticks and leave? Is he going to be a serious councillor? So, yeah, something to bear in mind in these sort of by-elections if you end up having one because, a Reform council's left. And should they, ever come door knocking, probably a good question to ask them. Really? Oh, Reform UK, how long are you going to be in post? Are you gonna up sticks and leave? Why should I then vote for you? Just questions to ask if they do come door knocking on that front. So, as always, thank you very much, of course, for watching. Let me know what you think down below about all this, and of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.